Okay, people, let's jump into it. Someone sent me a link to the video where they said they think a body's on the roof. This lady states it in this video here. You can look at the title and look at it yourself. Thanks for all your new subscribers. Thanks for a lot of you getting a few trolls in here that are so anal about, just anal about, just trolls. How about that? Now let's talk about the angle again. So this lady does state that she's seen a body. Let's see. The person said go to about 3 minutes, I think. I think they're about right.
Workers have set up a shelter at Samuel Fells High School.
So let's go here first. It's going to go with this angle again. So we have the fire.
Investigation, but obviously this entire area.
So we have the fire, and we have cars already been moved, displaced. Obviously, this was not. Cars didn't just drive out of here. A lot of them got trashed, right? They got engulfed, including the building there. I'm going to talk to you about overpressure in this video, and I'm going to talk to you about overpressure is going to be your explosive energy just by pressure, overpressure, and then kinetic energy. They say it's only theoretical. I don't think it's theoretical at all. That just think of it. If I throw a baseball at you, the baseball only weighs, a few ounces. If I throw it at you at 90 miles an hour, though, I can kill you with it. The little baseball, that's only 90 miles an hour. Of course, if I shrink it down even smaller and I throw it at you at a higher speed, I can still kill you. So I can shrink it down to a size of I'm trying to be sneaky here, the end of your pen. And what am I talking about? A bullet. So speed equals more force. All right, and if it's slow, the bullet I can just toss at you, and you're just like, why you just toss the head of the bullet at me? It's nothing. But when I put speed on it, it becomes deadly. This, I think that's the sign right there. I can't quite tell, but if you want to find the true angle of incidence that it engulfed, it hit the ground on, you're going to look at everything, the totality of everything. The engines, where the vehicles were, what they were hit with, meaning the engine parts hit a couple of the cars, the turbine engine out there. Then we look at the fuel here, also whatever is lit up, whatever it's ignited. You see the scattered material down the road. Do we see it down this direction, down the street, the debris? It will also tell you, if a car was there and it did pull out. We're gonna need to know where those cars were also, and it will tell you how much force back there that this overpressure was created. Let's talk to overpressure real quick. So, this lady, I think, it's probably not her. Maybe it is her. She made it out of the house because her windows were broken out. That's overpressure. I'll explain to you in a minute.
Was full of activity last night as that jet went down.
Okay. So this person is right there jumping into the mix. So right there, let's go.
One woman we spoke with says she lives very, very close.
All right, so there's the fire there.
To that site. She tells us all her windows were blown out during that incident. She told us about scrambling to try and find her dog, figure out what was going on, and get out of the house as quick as she could, and opening up the door to find a piece of the plane on fire in front of her steps.
My neighbor put the fire out that was in front of the door, and I got out the house, and it was just a body on top of the roof.
He said a body on top of the roof. So apparently it's snagged on the edge, and she could see it hanging on the roof.
Pieces on top.
And I don't know which roof, what elevation. Lower roof, upper roof. What does she call a roof? Let's figure at least the side of the building. Not literally on the roof. It's going to be hanging on the side of the building. I don't think she can, elevation-wise, that she could be able to see the top of the roof.
Like fire of the airplane all on the ground and stuff. It was very, very terrifying. Like I'm very scared right now.
When I got there on the scene, besides the sounds of first responders, it was eerily quiet. No folks were walking, businesses were shuttered, cars were charred. It was a really difficult scene.
Yeah, I think she picks it up down.
State Representative Jared Solomon, who you heard from there, he grew up in the neighborhood. He represents this area. And
I'm trying to find the lady where she says it.
From many people here, that this was
right
just
here.
after that crash happened. Take a listen.
As I came downstairs and I opened up the door, there was a piece of the airplane and at the steps on fire. So I thought the house was on fire. So I panicked, looking for my dog. And as I was panically looking for her, I fell out of steps trying to get her because she hid from me. And then when I went down to the basement, I opened up the back door. The back of the house was on fire. My neighbor's house in the back was totally engulfed in flames.
Now, fortunately, Dolores and her dog were able to saw and felt the impact of last night's crash.
There you go,
One of
gang.
those women, Dolores, we spoke with her just about an hour ago. She did spend the night at that Red Cross shelter at Fells High School. She lives very, very close to where that plane went down. She tells us she was upstairs laying in bed at the time, heard a loud boom, a flash of yellow, and then everything flew off
There's the mall sign.
her bed. She described to us those chaotic moments, those seconds after that crash happened. Take a listen.
As I came downstairs and I opened up the door, there was a piece of the airplane.
So look, this mall video. Is this our sign right here? Our clip sign, and that's the puddle of jet fuel and materials on fire, and across the street is the burn. Are we looking down the street at this angle?
Those chaotic moments, those seconds.
I know
after
the
that crash
advertisements in a
happened.
way.
Take a listen.
Hold on.
As I came downstairs and I opened up the door,
Let's scrub a little bit more through here. Let's look at it from here. Right here. Yeah, so is that house that's across the street? We can verify that white van. Detailed architectural, there's row homes and unit.
Of activity.
And right here, is this the what's here? We got this in the background. You guys can help me out with that.
Last night, as
This,
that jet went down.
yeah, this looks like our signage here. And that's the open field then. And there's our signage. So we're right on the puddle then. Here's the sidewalk. Well, I think it is, right? You guys can verify. We're looking at nighttime. Orientation was not told to us. Sorry about the mic. Let me bring it closer. So orientation was not told to us, so I'm trying to extrapolate. And all right. So here we go. And this is your angle of incidence, your fire, your napalm. Let me get you some napalm here. First, kinetic energy. Let's even close these tabs out for you. Kinetic energy weapon is KEW. It's a projectile weapon that uses the kinetic energy of a projectile to damage a target. They try to tell you it's only theoretical. It's real. It's a bullet. Come on. It's ridiculous to say that, to even talk about. This is what I looked up. I'm just looking up napalm for you to try to give you some images. This is what that looks like. There is a guy on YouTube that, oh yeah, we're going to come to the image, that, yeah, I'm working on the other one too, that did some napalm. Shit, I don't have the tab open. We'll come back to that one. And, nope, don't have it open. I can just go to my history real quick for you. So here's our plane. This is a video, so if I click on it, we're going to lose the image. So there's the impact. We have the debris field in this in this radius, but this is, this is after you already worked on it today. So this debris field is actually a construction field. But I just want you to look at it this way. So there's your angle. It's the fuel, napalm, if you will, went across the street, and you could see the most burned section of the building where it hit. It did not hit here, obviously. And then we also went down the street with it. I think the person filming is from that direction, and there's our yellow, see that yellow sign by my thumb? That might be this sign, that coloration right there. So let's go back to it again. Again, I don't want to jump around on you yet. Oh, looks like it did it anyway.
Resting.
Looks like it did anyway. I think this is 4 seconds. We can get rid of it. Well, it usually gives you a timeline, doesn't it? Seconds. And I'll close these tabs out. It's the imagery. It's most of it's film, so I got to give it to you like this. Pause it and look at it. So there's our angle here. So we got multiple. We got an angle of incidence this way, and also angle of incidence to the ground. But this is the the direction it was traveling. Yes, I've seen a couple of people come on here and say they're pilots and the thing was inverted. It has nothing to do with you're a pilot or not, and it was inverted. That's your feeling, your emotion. We don't know it to be inverted, but I want you to think about that. The debris I showed you, that cowling, the fuselage section with the two windows that slid down the road. Where did they slide down? They were over here in this dirt field? No, they were in a parking lot. Parking lot has it's in a parking lot further down. Now, it's not behind us. If it was, that would be the ejection off. Now, people said it exploded. So when you think of an explosion, let's just go over this. I know I'm jumping around a bit for you, but I'm trying. It's so much stuff that you guys write me that I'm trying to resolve for you. So once you think of it, we're just going to think of what someone thinks of an explosion. And here's it's just a round spot in people's mind, and an explosion goes outwards. Sorry, I know I should do it out like that, right? Outwards. Okay, so outwards. When we're talking, we're creating, once you think about it, we're creating overpressure. So if I were to try to talk to you in a windstorm, it would be much harder. I got to raise my voice even more. I have to create more pressure to talk to you. Overpressure is this. Let's use the atmospheric pressure of right now of, I don't know, let's just say 12. You're at 12 psi. For me to talk to you, to get air to go across my voice box, if you will, we can know it's voice box, right? To vibrate it and make a sound outwards to you like I'm doing to this mic. I have to create an overpressure greater than 12 pounds or I'm not disturbing the air. If I don't disturb the air, you can't hear me. It's like, a whisper creates very little overpressure, doesn't it? That's you just putting out a little bit of air to communicate. And the more you put out more air, the louder it gets. Also, it changes the tone because the voice box is being vibrated in a different frequency. All right, so there you go. So that's overpressure. When this plane hits here, it has an atmospheric pressure, whatever it may be. It's 12. When it hits, first it comes flying down. As it comes down, flying down, I'm taking liberty with that. As it comes down, it's displacing the air around it. So here is 12. There's 12. Maybe it's up here at 11, 10 psi. It comes down. It's pushing that air. It's compressing it. And it's moving out of the way, right? It's moving out of the way from it, and it's everywhere around it. Now, if you want to know what that feels like, you ever been next to a city bus when it goes past you, it pulls on you or blows you? That's overpressure. When you've been right there on the sidewalk when that bus comes by, or a train, the subway comes by you, the train comes by you, and you feel that air coming by, that's overpressure. It's pushing the air out of the way, and it's get drag, etc. And then when it goes by and it rebalances, first it push you, and then it has like a suction effect. That suction effect is actually the air pushing back, trying to fill the void that was just created. And it pushes you. It doesn't give a shit about you. Because on this side of you, say this is you as a human, the train comes through, you were at 12 pounds, right? There was 12 pounds all around you. You were just sitting here. It was perfectly stable. This comes through, displacing the air, the train does, let's say, the subway, and you're by the train tracks. And you'll feel the displacement mostly close near the edge. And it goes through. It pushes that air out of the way and displaces it. That air wants to fill it back up, fill that void up. And it's pretty fast, right? And it's a train. And so it wants to fill it up. But maybe it only took it down to, it says 12. But let's say it only took it down to 11.9. All right, you're like, that's nothing. It's only a point off. Well, that point matters because that's 1/10 of a psi. And over here, where you're standing, you have 12 psi all around you. But that train just went through. So we'll put you here, and here's the train coming through. When it went through, it changes it over here to 11.9, I stated, right? So 11.9. Oh, great. That's two of them. All right. So it's 11 point. Really? You get a heart then. 11.9. That's a difference of 1 psi per square foot. And how big are you? You add it up, and that's a significant amount, that little bit of 1/10 of a PSI. And is greater on this side. The 12 is greater than this side over here, so it pushes you until the air races around you and fills it and balances it out back to 12, and then you don't fall over anymore. You stop. And that's how you stand there and you get rocked on your feet a little bit. That rocking is the overpressure taking place. Now, that's a train. Now, this is a giant missile, all right? It's a giant kinetic energy bomb missile. And it's also the napalm, when you throw the napalm, because it's got the fuel on board. And when it hits the napalm, if you will, a lot of it goes down in a hole. A lot of it scattered in the direction that it was being thrown. The jacks thing I told you about. When you throw jacks or napalm, or you scatter, you throw your dice down on the ground. In this case, the dice is the fluid, the napalm, if you will, and it goes here. Some of it bursts outwards, and for some reason, it stops here. So there is a reason why you get a cluster here. It could have been part of a section of motor, a section of plane that went there. It could have been hit a vehicle, and then the vehicle bounced away, just like pool balls, bounced backwards, and then it's leaving the whatever's flammable there. Talking about fuel on a jet plane, jet fuel is kerosene. Kerosene, you can get about 1,500 degrees temperature in it. The plane, aluminum, burns about, I don't know, we got different thicknesses. It'll heat up, burn, it'll melt, different temperatures. But let's just call it an even 1,000. So we've got, once this kerosene, jet fuel starts on fire, ignites, it's, sorry guys, I don't know what happened there. Somewhere I got an audio on here. Let me kill that. All right, I'm going to have to just close this tab out to help you see that. I don't know what's going on.
Crews in Philadelphia are beginning to clean up after
Oh,
a deadly
because we're looking at my screenshot.
7 people were killed when an air ambulance crashed shortly after takeoff.
All right, where the
on
hell is that
ground was
plane? Oh,
killed.
there it is. It's here.
24 people.
All right, so they're cleaning up the site now. Let's see if we can back it up. Yeah, there we go. I thought we were looking at the real video. It was the screenshot I had that I was working on with you. And it auto-played. So there's that van. Remember I said there's a van there in this building? So if I, and I'm not going to spend the energy there, because I don't make money off of YouTube. And I'm not asking for money for you, but if you do it, you're giving it to the cats. My stray cats I take care of and my own cats. But I don't send me any money as a form of thank you unless you're doing it for the cats. Quite successful in my engineering career, and no, don't need to take from anybody that can't. It's not that just wants to help me out. I don't need your help. I do love your help when you do it for the cats, though. When you send money for the cats, it's like I fall subject to the, oh my gosh, look at the present I got. Look what they got for the cats. Isn't that awesome? And that's why I do the video, plus to educate you guys. Mostly to educate you guys on everything here. So there's our sign. There's our direction. There is our fireball that's existing. We call it a fireball now, right? And this is that secondary burn. See it? They look close, but in reality, that's that one. And I think this one is this one. So we have 1 and 2, and because of something called compression in filming, when you zoom in, the person probably wasn't right up on it, zoomed in. This looks closer to that. It looks like it's on top of it, and so they look almost on top of each other. In reality, what's that, about 40 feet, 50 feet away, something like that? Length of the building, oh hell yeah, that's somewhere about 60 feet. That's probably 25-foot building. I'm going to go with about 40 to 50. 40 to 50 from there, and that's so something got impacted. Over here, crossing the road, we're going to have 32 plus another 15. So it's significant. Somewhere about 45 feet from here to here, maybe 47. and it and this wall, let's put it this way, this wall, this building became a wall and stopped the rest of the fuel. It became a backstop for this accident. So it hurt this building, but this also, no one died there, thank you. But if this building would have saved lives too, unless someone died, then of course it didn't save lives. But this building saved lives because it controlled how far that was going. That was going a lot further. But this building acts as a protection. I mean, if it just was a different angle, it would have went over here. So now if you want to know the angle, we would know, literally, we could figure out what direction here by using Google Maps, all right, if you want to really do the work, guys. You go there, you get Google Maps, it's magnetic north or true north, whichever one you want to base it off of. You have this, you spin your map around, you look over there, and you say, the angle of the plane was exactly looking at this fuel here in the ejection. You'd say it was approximating based off of this as the triangulation, and the this here. You'd say that's the way the fireball went. All right, you would do that. Then you would say this is the way the secondary or another fireball went. So now you're getting an idea of what's going on. The fuel on this plane, I don't recall if it had the wings with the extra fuel on the outside, or if it just had where the fuel tanks were, with the extra fuel on the outside wings. Looks like little bomber things on the end of the jet. This company, I think I saw both versions, so I don't know what version this is. After seeing the news publish a few versions, I'm like, well, that doesn't tell me which version. So there is right here our fire. There's our angle of the fire. We came down here, so you can literally measure here. Actually, we'd go to here once the concrete is in. You'd figure out, you take a few targets, so it'd be a range. You'd take here and shoot up to there with your laser to get the angle. And then you'd go over and you'd take an angle shot also. And you would take it from each end, from here and out to the other end, specifically where the cut is also. And then you would give a range. So you'd say it's somewhere about 45 degrees to when you move over to the outside of the hole, just a little bit in the inside of the hole, a little bit, not the outside edge, but the base. You would come with the angle there. Could they have used that man lift that was there, or the fire department's thing, the NTSB? Sure, they should have. They should have ran a string, literally low tech, a string from down there to down there, just like you're tracing a bullet trail, right to where the black box is, up to where that is. I'm not sure if they knew that was clipped. It didn't seem like they had any interest in it. The drone wasn't on top of it. And as far as them being the experts, I saw a few people, I'll wait for the experts. Well, I hate to bust your bubble, but NTSB is not the experts. They were established by an act of Congress, and I'm going to trigger some of you. The head lady in charge at NTSB right now, she was initially under this other guy, Grumwell, or whatever his name. I make fun of him a lot. He's gone now, but she was. Let's see credentials, right? You're talking about credentials. You're going to love this. I'm having a little fun. Drum roll. Before she became part of NTSB, she was a rich neighborhoods civic association, one of their presidents there, one of the people that sit on the chair for the civic association. What else did she do that was related to planes and automobiles and roadways and everything else? Wait for it. Here it comes. Nothing. She is not a traffic expert. She is not a civil engineer. She has nothing to do with this. So when they tell you that, wait for us, we're the gold standard, like the NTSB said, they're not. They're being run by a bureaucracy, a corporate government, our government's corporate bullshit. So it's just crazy. I mean, would you think that person's qualified? Well, now she's like the head chair there. Now, not being racist, the black guy that stands behind her now, with the glasses, initially, if you look him up, right? When he first got there, I was like, okay, here's a new player. And I said, I recognize him, and when I realized who he was a mayor down in Florida. But good news is he has a lot of history of roadway infrastructure and a civil engineer. So I made you feel good about that, didn't I? I have a little joke I do. I tell somebody, hey, I found, did you lose this? I found $50 for you outside. This is yours, came out of your pocket. You make you feel good for a second. Well, that story I just told you, I was just making you feel good. Nope, he was just the mayor. And when he ran, he doesn't have that background, as I said. And when he ran for mayor again, he didn't win. And what happened? They literally, being connected, yes, he is a Democrat. So if I offend some of my Philadelphian Democrats, it's just a fact, all right? You can unsubscribe, but, like I said, I'm not getting paid. But, don't unsubscribe because you're getting offended. Come on, I'm going to offend you. I offend people. All right, I see your comments, and I have to approve a lot of your offensive comments to me. Otherwise, I could delete them, but I approve them because YouTube sees them as offensive and stops them. I'm not that thin-skinned. So don't be thin-skinned, all right? Enjoy the truth. So the truth is, he, through his connections, because, they all stick together, birds of a feather. Incidentally, it's practically hard to tell a Democrat from a Republican. But anyway, a Republican from a Democrat, because as my lawyer tells me, his joke is Democrats scream, let's burn down the house. Let's burn down the house. Yeah, I'm going to say it. And Republicans say, no, let's burn down the kitchen. So ultimately you get there anyway, right? So yeah, that ties in. Why is it connected? Because it is political. He got the job because it's political, not because he knows what he's doing, and neither is she. So they're not experts. So stop saying that I'll wait for the experts to chime in. They're not experts. Now, the other one is he tried to get the job to be in charge of HUD, Housing, Urban, and Developing, be part of that. They turned him down. They said, no, we don't have any space for you here. Who didn't turn him down when they wanted to put him somewhere? NTSB. And did he start out here? Somebody said, I'll let the experts chime in, the ones that are picking up stuff here and things like that. They're the true experts, one of the commenters said. Well, he didn't even start off down there. He went right up to sitting on the chair. There's about 5 people that will sit on the chair of NTSB, and they pretend like they're asking good questions for the general public's questioning after the report's done. How long will it take for them to give a report? Over 2 years, maybe 3 years to figure out what happened here. Clearly, you can come up with a decision by now based on the black box, based on all the data. You know how fresh this has to be. That would be like me saying, we open an investigation, and I'll get back to you in 3 years. You would think that was a joke if I did a YouTube video on that. Okay, we just open this one up, guys, and in 3 years, I'll give you the answer. You would say, boring, I'm leaving this channel. I don't blame you. But that's what NTSB does to us. They gaslight us telling you it takes 3 years to figure this out. 3 years, we would get statute of limitations would be running out on shit if we depend on that. We'd be like, yeah, you can't arrest me. You got to wait 3 years. You're going to take 3 years to figure it out. You know the answer or you don't know the answer on this one, as far as the NTSB goes. They got the flight data recorder. They'd have to get the records, the maintenance records, whether it had some major maintenance due, whether it had some red flags, how was the repair done. Yeah, it comes out of Mexico City. But they fly in the United States, so they're supposed to be able to allow the United States to inspect their logs, their records. But Mexico's not being very cooperative. The company's not. So, and NTSB doesn't have any ass-kicking power. FAA does, where they can say, look, you're not going to be doing medical flights in the United States until you give us those the flight records. And of course they're going to doctor that shit. So you're not going to get real repair maintenance. I said medical records, real maintenance records. So there's that. Now here's this. That's that plane. I mean the signage. Looks like the electric's on, so it didn't even knock the electric out of that thing. Now again, so down that end, and then of course we got a street name here. So we have the debris sliding down here. It could slide significantly. Remember the cars, etc., and how it would impact it literally, the cars. Let's roll through this and then I'll delete it. Okay, there's that after the fact. They're excavating. Interesting to me is there's some couple of pieces of concrete here. Might be sidewalk, and over here the asphalt is here. Somebody asked me about the drums here. Well, it's not under seal, So I'm going to say it's not evidence, but it's collection of some type. And if it is evidence, it just shows you that they don't give a shit, do they? As far as the way they collect evidence. And that's one of the things I did a video on. I got shadow banned because of slamming NTSB and also Army Corps of Engineers with the Champlain Towers collapse, the main structure, the building there. I was able to get a video that showed that they were destroying evidence. I mean, literally destroying it as they're supposed to be collecting it. And I did a video on it. The guy that made the video, they showed up at his door in Miami there, telling him, threatening him. They had the police show up and everything. And I did a video when he told me that. I did a video saying, hey, police showed up at the guy's door that gave me the video. They can show up at my door all they want, but they need a warrant, and they're not getting the video taken down. Well, they circumvented my ass. They went to YouTube and got YouTube to shadow ban me. So in other words, if you look up this, try to look up my channel, look up this content, you'll see that people with 800 subscribers get 20, 30, 40,000 views. You see where I'm at, 1,000 views. I can see on my algorithm side, they'll recommend my channel to people with the weirdest interests. And I still put the content out there, though. And here we go. So we have this. The lady was filming this direction. I said lady. I don't know what to be a lady. Filming this direction. We have our impact here. We saw how it was buckled. The sidewalk was buckled. I believe it clipped the sign. Let's go to that guy's image. So one of their viewers said, oh, based on what I'm telling, he put an overlay of a plane. Not that plane. It's a medical plane. This is just another plane he found. And he's showing the clip here. And he has this here. He can't, his software, he's obviously limited. So I'll give him an A for it. But if you could rotate this, you could get it to do this. But now look where your windows are. They're under there. They're on the underside. So this would have to go into the ground, eject this. Remember, we looked at it. Eject this section of paneling of outer skin, the fuselage. It's facing the ground at this point, and these are coming down towards it. It'd have to eject it, bounce off the ground, and wind up where? In the parking lot. Behind us, to the right of us, this direction, north, south, west, east, wherever this is in the parking lot, which you guys could, normally if I wasn't shadow banned, I'd do a lot more work for you. I'd find out that parking lot, I'd look at it, and I'd try to do the angle for you. But I also enjoy viewers that will do things like this, that will take my clues and work with it, how I said the angle. So we'll give the Booty Call 78. I added the call on there. Yeah, I have a sense of humor. So Booty Call 78, don't take offense to that, is showing it just clipped just a touch. It is clipped, right? It is clipped. Now, post hoc ad hoc, just because I said that they're tied together, that this one is tied to the hole, doesn't make it true. Because we could, I don't know, maybe they had a crane out there and it was in the air and they were turning over a tractor trailer 10 months ago and it swung around and it hit this sign. And now we get a plane crash, and then we tie the plane crash with this together, and it's not connected. But I think it is connected, and I base that off more so the knife cut into the asphalt, into the concrete, which gives us a much more different, interesting, because if you could only turn this blade this way, you'd be more in line with it. Much more interesting cut. Now, someone did say, well, what happened to the other wing? And interesting enough, if you look at I'm not saying it, so don't jump to conclusions. If we look at the other, when it comes down, it appears to be white, too white. Oh, you definitely got to see it. Hold on. So that would be back to let's let this roll out. The other wing, hell if I know where it is. I didn't, we don't have the full scene. I don't know where it is. It could be, anywhere. Okay, so the person's running away. We have our third fireball. Well, let's say 1, 2, 3, 3 in our visual sight now. This person, it's not that much heat because they're okay right there. They don't feel threatened anymore, or they just don't know to be scared of explosives. We see significantly right here, there is no fire here. People ask me, how come it's not burning a sign? Because it was all thrown that way, like a Molotov cocktail. So once I get Molotov cocktail spelling wrong. Molotov. Okay, Molotov. It's the, so videos to see if I have something in the history. This guy's doing that. What's this one doing?
What's going on?
I'm going to get rid of the audio, so these guys are going to throw one in slow motion. Okay. Yeah, you can see it. Oh, he's going to throw it at a building, no less. And I think it's like the slow-mo guys. I think I've seen them before. And he's lighting it up. Well, let me move this out of the way. Okay, so then they're going to show it in slow motion, which is great because I talked to you guys. Now, let's okay, let's look at, okay, he's got it in slow motion coming up now. Here it comes. All right, so there's the fluid. It ignites, and it's the vapor that it's igniting, not actually the fluid. The vapor is, and that's what's burning. And it's now going there, but it's going to now spread. The liquid's going to spread on this wall. I have not seen this video. When it does that, it's going to trace down there and igniting all the vapor, and then the fuel will keep letting off vapor, and that's why you'll see it just still burning. All right, so there was, the collision was that direction. You can see the way the bottle, I guess it's a bottle, it also has a force of bouncing back like a tennis ball. And that's why all of a sudden now we get it not just sliding down the wall, but we get it coming back at us in this direction. And there's the shape of it. And okay, those are the vapors. Remember I said vapors? So the vapor's burning and the fuel is what's left. In this case, the shitload of fuel to be able to drive back. You would check that with their fuel records too to make sure they were fueled up. And there's so many things they cause this, hydraulics to suicide, all right? You can go every which way you want. Oh, I like what he did there. So the bottle breaks down. The back of the bottle is not cleared to ground yet. I'm looking for the bottle to drop, but it's slow motion and he might stop it by then. Still looking for the back of that bottle, the glass. And I don't know if that is the glass. Was it? Oh yeah, that's the glass there. See the my arrow? It bounced off, kinetically bounced off. Look at it. There's some glass. Oh, there it comes through the flame. There's the bottle now. So the overpressure created more force on the fuel to be blown out than the literal than the literal labeling. Look at that. Let's watch that come through the surface. That's going to be interesting. There it is right there. And that would be the angle of incidence. This is creating an angle of incidence of the explosive force. And there it is with the glass mirroring it. And that is pretty. Let me get rid of that. That's enough of that. So that was Molotov cocktail. Let's see if you got one better one than that. Remember I said it acted like it protected, the wall was the protection. So this is just fluid, and he's just throwing it on there. And this lights up. That's it. That's all just the fuel, and then the vapors are on fire. The fuel is still there, and it's still being fed by the vapors from the fuel. And that's where you get the long burn. It definitely didn't sync with my phone, because I pulled this up off my phone. Second Molotov cocktail incident reported in Hollywood. Oh, shit. What was that? August 9th. Crazy nut jobs. Let's go back to this and see what we got here.
One woman we spoke with says she lives very, very...
All right, that's the house. Let's do that. That's the house there. There's the white van. There's the house. And it looks like it's at the bottom. So it slid across the side, the ground, the fuel and everything else, and slammed against the wall. So basically, the bottle, if you will, could be a wing over there, as far as I know. It could be a wing, that the fuel, and that's the wing sitting over there melting down. So if you want to know where it might be over there, melting down, being distorted. It did not go to the main roof. The fire worked up to the main roof. As we can see, it's low here, and somebody's right on it. There's the cops there. So, and the cops, he should have turned and faced the damn fire because he got video off the dash cam. I guess he's not that bright. So, no, like I said, I might offend some of you. So, any of you cop lovers out there, I apologize for offending you. I believe in the Constitution, so I'm all about, as long as you follow the Constitution, do what you want to do. It's your life. All right. So last time around on this one, we see them now cleaning up, and cops facing that way now. We have here barricade, concrete, and we'll go. Yeah. So there's we know now that's that. Let's see if we can get a better. We do. So that came over. Oh wow! It blew it. That's an entrance, a window. So it really got inside this house, and acted like a damn chimney. Trying to see if we can see any other structural parts of the plane. Can't be that lucky, can we? What is this? The shape is kind of weird. I think if I put that here, could that be a metal capping? No, because it would be lightweight. Oh, they have awnings. All right. So you want to know what the heat can do? That looks like metal awnings, and it burned right through that one, melted that one. We could look at it before and after if you had the energy to do that. It warped this maybe, this whatever this is, covering a small window. Dual meters, so two apartments here. And then we have, theory. What do we got down here? Don't know. Got something over here. Oh, that's awning. Look, it looks, I'm saying it. It looks like an awning here. So put the awning on one of these maybe. I don't know where they were. Like I said, you have to look at before and after. We have a interesting piece here, don't we? Motherfucker. Look at this. This is going to be a major piece. This might be our motor. So I do the video like this live with you, so I can, and I'm recording it, and then you see how it's working, my process. And then if I change my mind, I will change my mind on something. But where are we going here? So we have a pole that appears to be there right now. This is kind of worth tracking this down for another video for you guys. So we have a pole, and then we have the pole that was here. And I'll teach you about a moment. That's in engineering. That would be, where is it reacted on? Where was it? Its action. So think of it like a linebacker or football, and someone dives into someone's stomach, and they're going to bend them over and throw them back. I mean, just a big person versus small in high speed. Well, now this would be your person here. Watch this. You see the kink right here? Now I need to eliminate another source that could have done that. For example, is there some, or declare this did it by looking for like a motor, maybe one of the engines in the back. Bounced off the ground, ricocheted up in the air, and took flight towards here, hit the pole, so that would be a new path now. That would be a new line of path. I mean, it had to hit the pole this way. It's so high up, I don't have it as a car swerving, hitting the pole, breaking it. It hit it, drove it across the property. Sorry, I'm dropping stuff now. Drove it across the property to there. Boy, I wish we could see the front of this. And it could have just been a deflection, like it hit it so hard, it then deflected off there like pool balls, and then drove itself. I mean, literally it could be inside. I don't know if they inside here, ironically or wildly so. You could look for it inside here, or even on the street. It could have hit that. Had enough energy to do what it did, and then like a pool ball, it goes a different direction. It's not a pool ball though. It's whatever the shape is and the energy it's got to absorb, deflect. Elastic collision. Elastic means just like a pool ball, and then inelastic is it would be more absorbing. So this hit there, it threw the sign down. Now you would know that this is probably 7 foot off the ground. You can't have people's heads walking into them. It's whatever the municipality declares safe, and so this is probably 7 foot. So this is somewhere around 8 to 9 feet off the ground. This impact right there. and that would be a pole that was here in the background. This is very interesting. I'm going to save this image. I'm going to, I need to be able to prove this, but right now I'm going with this is a significant marker, indicator of the jet's engine. And that's what I'm going, I need something pretty substantial to hit that. I don't think I'm going to get the wing. I think the wing, I don't think that. The wings have ribs in them, but this is pretty, you're hitting it pretty high. And it's putting it pretty square and so much force that it shears this. Considering this is in good shape, I don't know what it looks like looking at it closely. I don't know what it looks like. And it would be, let's see if we can do that. It would be, yep, can't tell. I can't tell. So sometimes you, what I call seeing ghosts. Sometimes you'll see what you want to see. So be careful of that when you're doing stuff like this. And then look at the craziest places for things. This sign escaped it. There's something by that car. I would say it's some debris because the tire, you park your car and you don't park it on you normally don't park it on a rock. And that could be snow. Right? Wasn't snow still out there then? Even though it was all that heat. So now it looks like it. I'm gonna call it some of our debris. What's this? If it's not, yeah, I don't see any indicator the snow was there anymore. Nothing on here, of course the heat, but this and this, is that just, like I said, you can start seeing things that could just be sidewalk discoloration. Let me leave this alone now, but this is a good hint, good piece of material for you. All right, so the this is good. This is interesting. I'm looking for more airplane debris. No, I do not see it. There's our sidewalk. We talked about that. It goes across the street. This is the asphalt they removed. Yeah, they're bagging debris. Looks like they're even sorting it. So they're pulling it out with the excavator, putting it down on the ground, then they're going through it with shovels and grabbing all the non-dirt. Grab all the non-dirt. This is not NTSB. This is probably just a contractor that they said, hey, do this. Really, they don't really do what people think. Oh, they're treating it like a crime scene. Do you see anything apart this looks like a crime scene? These are just probably just workers for the contracting company. They told clear the hole out, fill it back in, put the concrete back over it, and go on with your life. There's the concrete there. Let's see if they turn forth. Oh, I saw a piece of right there. Looks like a piece of plane material. That's pretty significant. That looks like not non-organic. So let's see what else I got for you. Let's move on. That one, this one. So we talked about this. You need the angle, and flip this back over. Oh, it was the plane crash. So Philadelphia plane crash. I thought it would pull up. Let's just do this. There we go, 114. This one. So they're filming down here. Let's get oriented here. Are you guys oriented on this yet? I am not. To where we're supposed to be looking. Oh, I am now. This is right where our accident is, pretty right here and going that direction, and that's our... Oh, it's way down the block. They really zoomed in. They keep them at a distance. So remember, zooming in, you're going to compress things together. They're there at least. Yep, so there it is here. Looks like he's right there. He's not. There's our building over here. Let's look at the signage. We can hear what he says a bit. Let's see.
This crash in about 30 days' time. In Northeast Philadelphia, I'm Ross Demon, less than a minute after takeoff. They also found the plane's enhanced ground proximity warning system, which could contain additional flight data. We're expecting the NTSB to release its preliminary report on this crash in about 30 days' time.
A preliminary report in 30 days. You shitting me? Right? Really? 30 days. Told you. You get what you pay for. Nothing. We're not paying. You know, they stealing that money. They hired a civic association lady that's gaslighting everybody. Look her up. She won't. You'll see that she won't mount the shit. The head lady that comes up and speak. Look her up. You'll be like, oh my gosh, really? The National Transportation Board for the United States of America could only find a non-qualified person? Yeah. And you wonder why we have issues. Okay. So there's our debris field. We already went over that. I know I'm going to lose a lot of you with my comments, so, you know. I guess good take the good with the bad. Like I said, at least I'll keep the best of you. The other ones I don't have to pander to. I don't do pandering very well. I don't do pandering well. Ass kissing, whatever you want to call it. I got a price for my ass kissing. So, this is so interesting again, isn't it? I know I said it might be a motor. You know, it's... You can say it all you want that it's the jet engine, but it's still so perfectly intact. The jet engine's got a lot of layers on it. Can take a lot of force. I just wish they would just do a little more better job in zooming in. Oh, this is interesting. Look at our angle of our signage in the background. So both of them were hit at the same time. This might be our wing. Or that part, the fuselage part. This could be part of that. Both these bent at the same time. It's not a car. It knocks one off, right? Comes in there and knocks one off. So this gives us something new to look at. So this signage might have went all the way over to here. And we get the explosive force, and it goes across, down the fence line. It goes down the fence line, takes down two of these poles. There's two of them. 1, 2, and do we go more? Yeah, we got a 3, because nobody's installing the poles on an angle like that. Or even, well, it might bend them like that being, you know, criminal mischief, if you will. People are just weird, like, let's bend these poles. You know how it is. All right, so this one, it looks bent, but it just, I'm not going to relate it to the accident this time. Let's see what we have here. I don't need to hear their narration. Okay, so now we've got that building that's further down. And I think back down here to your left is the part of the shell of the helicopter. How about that? Helicopter. The fuselage, you think of it as the shell of it, you know, the outer skin down here. And what are we looking at here? So nothing, yeah, that looks... I don't think that was put on the side like that, right, on the angle. Oh, somebody just stepped on a piece of nice metal. And we have, where is this? We'll let this play out. I mean, obviously the car, there we go. So people think that it's missing a wing coming down. Now when I stop it like this, what happens is it's called pixelation. And if you see what I did there when I froze it, and I could do this over and over again, it shows the direction, the angle of incidence. We know the camera now. We have a camera, a ring camera, that's filming it. Whatever this is filming it. You know the angle of that it can film. So this is another way to do it this way. Of course, if you had access to the flight data recorder, it might tell you the angle the plane's on, depending on what went wrong with this helicopter, with this aircraft, that it didn't interfere with the flight data recorder, or that flight data recorder was even working. Remember, this is coming out of Mexico. You can feel the way you want to about it, but they're actually holding back on releasing the repair records for this. So they're not being cooperative, even though they said they are. Maybe they released it by now, I don't know. But here's your angle here, all right? There it is. We do see what? You do see both in this angle. It presents as we're seeing the plane with both wings. And looking at it, they look symmetrical. So our angle from this view, so in other words, if it was turned a little more clockwise away from us, we would see more, maybe more of this and less of that one in the back. But now we see that we're seeing pretty much both wings, and it's ghosting, if you will, and that's like slow motion, it's capturing it. So when I press pause, the pixels are capturing, we're catching up the pixels in a freeze frame. So there it is there. And there's the angle again. So it appears to be turned sideways. Or if we remember post hoc ad hoc, that's a short version of it. The meaning don't try to tie it together. So in other words, that's what I'm saying the interpretation is. But I leave open that, am I missing that? Could it be turned towards me with the wing directly towards me? And what would be the other side I'm looking at then? Streaking through the sky, pixelation. It's too consistent though. When I pause it twice, it's still tracked. So I'm saying it's probably both wings. Looking at, we can see both wings here. You know what street this is on. We know where that street is. You can Google map it, step over there, look back into the sky, if you will, and go, oh, I think I need to see the wings like this. And you're going to figure out angle of incidence that way also. We got a nice image right about there. It is on a corrupted angle. The door, whether the door was open or not. It is there. But now telephone poles are semi-plumb. See the pole? But you can't really use that as scaling because it's so far off. You can't say it. But I have a bias that is about 45 degree of inclination. About 45 degrees is my rough estimate. There it is again. There it is again. Roughly 45 degrees. And then we get this light. And that's the camera's pixelation. It sees it and the sensor has to adjust, and there we go. All right. So what else I got for you? Let me fast forward. Nothing in that image. Nothing in there. I think that was pretty good, that one there for you, to talk about that. Of course, we have that one with the other people, the other guy in the street where we see it come in. This is not probably not a physical debris that went up there, but the fire did this damage from the roof down. If it was a physical object that went there and pushed through this wall, the load-bearing part of this wall is from outside to here. Now this is dangerous. Now this wall can fall over. Luckily it's a structural wall in that these old Philadelphia homes like this, the framing, the joist went into the pockets of the brick. And there's some significant brick left on the face. But this still can fall over depending on how it looks on the other side. This is fire damage though, that I don't see anything that would be other than fire damage. Didn't make it to the outer wall, that's plaster. It's the finished wall inside, how's that? And the joist burned out and the fire department did what they did. So that is a structural load-bearing wall here. This is the party wall between the two of them. Obviously, it's okay. They look like they had to clear this house out. So she lost her window, she said. That's that overpressure I talked about. And remember, inside your home, outside might be 12 psi. Inside the home might be 11.9. Maybe it pressurized equally, 12 on each side. 12 pounds on each side. That the house was open and it's pressurized equally. So the air outside is equal to the pressure inside. Except for when this crashes, it goes up to towards her house. The pressure, it's a shock wave, sort of like waving a fan at you. When I do a fan, like you ever grab a hand fan and fan yourself, you're creating an overpressure. It's very, very small, but it's enough to keep the air blowing towards you. Same thing with this. We get this air pressure coming towards here, and it only takes, this is full glass, might only take 0.2 of a psi per square inch to focus right here like a baseball, if you will, and it would just punch the window in, blow the windows out inwards. And the window's going to deflect some and allow a lot of have some flexibility before going in. There's the fire. What am I missing for you? Oh, we got something beautiful down here. You got to be shitting me. Is this it? No, that's somewhere else. Kind of like there's a blue plane. I thought it was red. There's the literal plane. And interesting enough, biasly so, for people that want to say it's upside down. That plane was upside down. Well, it sure is. Presenting so. Until you look at it more differently, then you see that the lettering is not upside down. All right. How do you, I like jokes too. So how do you keep a blonde entertained all day? A blonde. You give her a bag of M&Ms, tell her to put it in alphabetical order. She'll come up with MW, MW, WM, WM. That's the best I got for you in short notice. So there is this flight. And remember, this door is structurally sound here. I already did that video for you. Let me move over 2 tabs. We did this one. We finished it. Wow, that's beautiful. There's that sign that's gone. The sign's on the lawn now. I don't know if that's fire inside or not. Or is it... I don't know. But that sign on the ground is major. Let's see if we can... If they film... Remember they have the... they filmed... There's a sign right here. Damn it. So let's see if we can find the... this could have been a lot worse. You know that, right? It could have landed in the mall. It could have killed a lot more. Hey, Max. That's Max, the stray cat I picked up. Oh, here we go. We got that... whatever it is. We got it. It looks like we got an image of it. It was discovered about 8 feet, that's the black box, 8 feet below ground. Okay, so the black box was continued into it. Let's look at this. Oh, we can't look at it. Yeah, we sure can. So the black box so here it says about 8 feet. Why do you say about? You know, it's, I mean, it's just low tech bullshit. You know, get the right angle of incidence and everything. Wow, you're talking about compressed. So interesting. I need to see more of how this was shaped, but this looks like the impact side here. This is the part that buckled, so this would be facing forward. Literally facing forward, not sideways, because this dimensionally doesn't look this from right to left or left to right. And then part of the remaining structure of the aircraft coming from back of behind this location, forward still, the forward momentum, stripped this off a bit. Like a condom taking off, right? So push this forward, the outer shell here, and the impact in the front did this buckling. So we get this buckling here. And then we have the rear, the rest of the aircraft behind us driving forward and created this. And some of it even tore it. All right, so we look at that. We'll get rid of it. Okay, NTSB there on X. That's that one. And newsroom. Let's take a look. And there it says that 13 hours ago. And that's the other craft. The UH-60. That's a big clown show there right now. So who is, I'll do this for you. Who is head of the NTSB? I'll do that for you, for all you people to think that they're experts. Who is head chair of NTSB? And we have her right here, Jennifer L. whatever, Hamidi. And now you're going to look at her qualifications here. Let's see. They're going to try to juice it up a bit. President Biden appointed her and Donald Trump. Pennsylvania State University, bachelor's, Clemens University. Not in engineering, all right? Not in civil engineering. Let's see. As you can see, let's see if we can get here. Hamidi worked as a government relations manager at the American Iron and Steel Institute for 2 years. She was a legislative representative. See, that's all tied in. AFL-CIO, Transportation Trades Department from 1999 to 2004. That was it. She was a legislative representative. Teamsters. So she's a what do you call it? Come on, you guys. They go to the government. They try to lobbying. Lobbyists. All right, is what she was doing, and she lobbied her own job. And 2004 to 28, she was a Democratic staff member of the United States House Transportation Subcommittee of Railroads, Pipes, and Hazardous Materials. She was this small job. I've tracked her when she first appeared on NTSB. She had nothing going on. So that was then. That was 2018. She appeared when Kobe's flight came down. She disappeared out of nowhere. And that was her first job. And she was up there. If you look it up, you'll see it's her stumbling around. And you won't see that she's got nothing with nothing to do with President nominated Hamidi to serve as the chair for the NTSB in 2021. And so from Kobe's impact until 2020, that was like, 2 years before that? She's all of a sudden the head of the NTSB. This is crazy. She has been critical of Tesla. I don't care. So-called full driving. I could care less about that. And it looks like Musk. It looks like she got an issue with Musk. Yeah, it looks like that's a private agenda, isn't it? And she was supposed to be interim. President announces intent to nominate. Oh, wow. So anyway, if you look her up, this is all fluff. And reality, it's probably been scrubbed. Because I did a video on that, incidentally. So if you really want to know, I did a video on it. And Civic Association. I did it before it was scrubbed. So I should have a video on this when it was around the Kobe time. And let's see. It was out of Virginia. Because I was like, why are they pushing this lady forward as being part of something like this? It's in my wheelhouse. It's civil and anything construction. And somehow she's there doing this. All right, so that's nowhere. I'm using a VPN, if you guys want to know the trick. Use a VPN, and right now, Delaware gives you the most secure rights on the East Coast. You can use California, too. It's only 2 states, as far as I know, that if you use them and bounce through Delaware as your VPN, you'll get all types of protection with your internet surfing. So that's my tip for internet. Let's move over and cancel this out. We already dealt with that. That's the helicopter. I already did a video on that. It's great shape for the impact. I really like this. Ending the video, right. I can't help myself. I got to see that damn pole with you guys, the telephone pole. So, which mall is that? I forget. Which mall is it again? You guys can answer me. Look, near a mall. Really? You know what? Let's see if somebody already has it. Oh, I'm in Philly. It shouldn't be in there. It should put me in Delaware. What the hell did it do? Shit. All right, so you think somebody would tag it already? On the maps where you tag it. Huh. There we go here, but really look at nobody's calling out the mall. There's Northeast Philly. This is crazy. Philadelphia plane crash. Let's try this and location. A couple of you probably screaming at me now, knowing just where it is. Philadelphia plane crash. City of Philadelphia. Sean Duffy. Let's see what he says. Roosevelt Boulevard in Cotman. Let's get it. Let's get it. Oh, the tag place. I could go to the tag place, couldn't I? The auto tags. There's Macy's. The nail salon. Dunkin' Donuts. Frank's Auto Parts. So here we are here. There's the Vans tags. There's the insurance company. There's our building with the awnings. So the awnings are up top, 4 in the back. There is, oh, okay, so that was a significant porch. There's that header, window. That's there. There's my beautiful sign. And let's look down on the ground here where this car's parked. I don't see anything there. Okay, so it had a base on it. There's the signage. And this is where our impact was above the signage. We're going to go to it. Let's turn around. Oh, like a little motorcycle class over here or something. What the hell are they doing over here? Forget it. Roosevelt Mall. Roosevelt Mall. So we have to change the time here. If you notice, we have this sign. It's not our sign. Not our sign, but there's that sign, and it's the Affordable Legal Center. This is the building here. So we're lined up there. I can't do better. It just doesn't have anything beyond 2022. All right, let's go out. And now let's come over here. And let's look at our north-south direction. So here's north here. See north? So that's towards, that's the airport then. And now we have our, well, it might be over here now. They might have moved the sign over. But there's our angle of incidence. Oh, what are the odds of that? Look at that. Okay, so let's come here. And I'm right on the location pretty much. See right here, I'm on that location. And let's look across the street. So I don't know if this stuff is still here. I was there then doing impact, but we have something major that bounced, came over here, impacted here, and tore the sign off. All right, now let's go to the left. Let's look up. I can't, it's imaginary looking up. There's a sidewalk. Yeah, this is, I remember they have new handicap now here. This is handicap. And so all this has been redone. This has all been redone. There's some cracks there from people driving off of this cutting a turn. And the corners are weak. Not because they're inherently weak, because of the structurally location is makes them weak. It's the same PSI as the rest of the concrete, but they're in cantilever mode, I call it. So this is all an open field now. And there we are. We're looking at the angle. It throws a fireball from where we are here to there. So I can use this triangulation from here and this street's cross section here, triangulate back to here and come with an angle, knowing this street's angle. So I can do this. I'll show it to you. Sorry about the long video. I didn't want it to be long. I wanted it to be short. So I can do this. I can use that sidewalk there. Here. The curb ring rather. That's about right too, yeah. And then I can do, I have a sign here. So I triangulate that back to here. And then another one, fireball this way. And then I have a angle of incidence dotting here. Well, considering I clipped the sign, wait a minute, that's wrong. Because the sign I think is over here now. So it'll be more like that, but up in the air, spatially higher up. So we have, I can shorten this one. And then we have our debris field going down here also. So one of the major fireballs hit this wall, the Molotov cocktail, the napalm hit this wall. Over there, the engine probably hit. I mean, it'd be amazing if that wing had enough ability to do that, to shear that pole in and send it flying over to there. That pole absorbed so much energy that if it wasn't there, the house would have had cleared, beautiful impact, if you will. It would have been major, maybe even, killing somebody. But the Affordable Legal Center. So this is the way this goes. This is the sign. There's there, and that's that. And then you can literally, these are easily determined. This is something that you can do with the survey, with survey equipment, especially knowing this road and that sidewalk right there, that alignment of the sidewalk. That's like a home run for me to triangulate. And remember, it does this though. It snow plows the materials there like that. Let's do that for you. Yeah, something like that. So it comes down pretty steep. And then as I told you, not everything can go on the ground, so some of it shears off. It ricochets, it hits that, ricochets off that concrete, and there's the angle of incidence. It goes that direction. Pool balls again. Except for now, that explains why that concrete, which I talked about, why is it fractured like that? That was a major impact. And I said in yesterday's video last night that I would love to figure this out. And here it is. It's that engine coming down, so much force, and then having to, it can't stay there. It's not going into sand to be able to absorb all the energy. It ricochets, takes out the pole, and places it over here. I don't know where the engine is. I can only have the engine. I mean, you could, in my mind, I can only have the engine. I don't have a wing. I don't have the medical cot inside there. I don't have an oxygen bottle. I don't have bats doing it. All right, so there's that. And so I do have this going down here, but I need to tie it back to here. We have a vehicle that's impacted. We have some poles that are here that are bent over, so that gives you angle of incidence. I think we have a total of 3. And that might be our cowling that came off, and it went through down here and bent 2 poles, 3 poles. And you could look at each pole. So if you guys live around there, do me a solid when you get a chance. The NTSB is not bright enough. I just told you they're the bottom of the list of investigative abilities. That look at these poles and look for coloration, paint, swapping of paint from the airplane. One, specifically the first one, although this looks like about the same. Also tell me if their heights are all the same. So it could be all bent over the same thing, so it just gave it a haircut, which would be, that means it has still had a lot more force. If it does all 3 of them at the same height, it had a hell of a lot of force. And you also know now the angle, this trajectory of, let me do this, of whatever this was. Shit. Let me change the color and so we can see it better. That was useless. So we have the trajectory of it coming down. I believe it's impacted each one of these poles. Considering it's not somebody just decided they're going to have the strength to bend 3 poles. It's not that easy to bend poles, all right, like that. And it's high up. It wasn't a car that did it. They break them at the bottom. This was coming across like that. And then also we had the car impacted in the street. I think drove it backwards, shoved it back, and it's sitting over here parked. I'm going to end the video, and I hope I don't have to do another one. I mean, I'll do it for you guys, but looking at your questions, I think I need to answer these. So yes, it could be inverted the other way, and why or whatever. So there's dirt here now, but that cowling of the cowling, the fuselage. Sorry guys, it's a lot of terminology you have to know. So the fuselage, the shell of it, it's one of these parking lots. You know, it might be over here. It could have bent down, think, and bounced back to here. So when you see people filming it, it's by two lines like this. It could have done that. All right, it could have done that. This is by two lines though, and we got lines over here. I don't know how far they scrubbed this parking lot. I don't know where it is. You guys can tell me. I didn't find it yet. I didn't spend the energy on that. I just spent the energy on, you see what I spent on this. So take care. Love you guys, and enjoy my humor. And if you don't like it, just don't comment. Just don't comment. Just go away. Thank you. Love you guys. I'm out.